to your Thursdays Are the Best Days podcast, regularly scheduled on your Thursday after morning, mid-morning, 12 a.m. Normally goes up at 12 a.m. unless I forget about it. It's like 8 a.m. after I wake up. I'm like, shit, I forgot to do the podcast.
Yeah, well, close
I
enough.
didn't get the little bloop from Bruno's little bot saying Nick can go to bed now.
Well, see, my bloop is dependent on how fast YouTube processes. That's my problem.
Yeah. So,
Hi, it's me.
Oh, it's Bruno. To start off the week, we got to start 100 episodes ago.
Yep.
And
What's
we
that?
apparently were talking about bigger hammer.
A bigger hammer is always the solution.
The trick we played for all the viewers in the last power consumption Nokia phones and the Impossible Whopper. Damn, the Impossible Whopper is actually pretty okay.
Still haven't had one, I'm going to be honest with you.
What?
Yep.
How?
Never. I don't know. I just never
You
did.
never had the desire just to try one?
Nope, haven't. Not yet. Maybe soon.
100 episodes ago, apparently you probably haven't either. Fuck. Jeez.
No, fuck no. Absolutely not.
I don't know. I think they're worth a try.
And that's what I hear, and it's just like I forget about it. I don't know. Me and my goldfish brain.
All the time?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Bruno. So, I know you're just dying to get into it.
Well, first off, I'm dying to say Merry Christmas to our listeners. Because this is Christmas
Merry
week.
Christmas. Hey.
So, happy holidays if you don't celebrate Christmas, but Merry Christmas.
We say Merry Christmas.
We say Merry Christmas around these parts, but we do accept other holidays if you do celebrate them.
I'll probably just say Happy Holidays just to stir the pot. Well, that's my internet was freaking out. Steam's trying to download massive updates.
I was about to say, I hear something going on.
Pause.
Yo, I'm going to stop you before you go to your own segments. I'm curious. Do you got any Christmas traditions or holiday traditions? Anything that happens every year?
Oh, man. So, do you... not really. So, I used to go to Pittsburgh all the time. Like, we wake up and then we went to Pittsburgh. My favorite Christmas tradition that doesn't exist anymore because the person died was there was apparently this bakery in Pittsburgh. I don't know, it's a bakery in Pittsburgh owned by an old woman.
Yeah.
Used to make these I think they just do you know about my love for shitty sugar cookies?
It sounds familiar, so I'm gonna say yeah, I do.
I think it all stems from this. There was this bakery that used to make these I don't know, they're oh, you got your bourbon. So that's I need you to hold on that. Is that bourbon or whiskey? Well, I guess that's a loaded question.
All bourbon
is whiskey. A bourbon?
It's Scotch, though.
Oh, okay.
Not bourbon.
Okay. So... Yeah, I don't even know what type of sugar cookie. I don't even know what type of sugar cookie. It's like the densest sugar cookie you can get that has icing, but the icing feels like it's already 3 days expired by the time you use it, so it's rock hard.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shitty sugar. Yes, exactly.
So, I used to get these, they always used to be the same shapes, and I honestly am forgetting the shapes anymore. But I can remember a few. My grandma used to get, hundreds of these cookies, and it'd be my favorite part of the holiday. Or these cookies. I know for sure I'll never forget the tree, because it was a tree with, yellow baubles, and, red, what are they? I don't even, trim? I don't even, the stuff you, the stuff you wrap around a tree.
The garland or...
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a star, there was a mitten, there was a bell. I don't think there was anything else, but there probably was. The red... there was no reason, but I liked a couple of the colors more. I liked the tree a lot, but it tasted the same as the, star, but I like the colors of the tree one more, so I always liked those more, and I ate them more, then I ended up all the shitty ones last, but they were the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, I got you. But that's how this whole thing started, huh?
Yeah, now they don't make them anymore. and I just don't get. Yeah, I don't. I just don't like
Yeah.
that whole like nostalgic. I'll never get to have something again. Like is
So
those
like,
cookies.
I'm the same way with cannolis now because the person who used to make my cannolis passed away. I would always
Damn.
go into Reading like the day of Christmas and go buy a box of cannolis. Like I'd order and buy, I don't know, like 2 dozen cannolis for the family that came over, you know?
Mhm.
And it just, and I'd go into Reading to get them, and it just, they were really good cannolis, and I just liked them, but not gonna be
Never
a thing
again though.
anymore. Yeah, it's. I think we tried once, and it was not the same, and it didn't feel
No.
as worth it. You know
Yeah.
how that is. You try and get the recipe from someone, and it's not the same.
Yeah. These cookies, like, they're pretty generic, but like the designs every year were the exact same. And I feel like I like the designs. Like,
Yeah, it sounds like there was something going on there. So,
I just was like the nostalgic of it. Um, that was the only real Christmas tradition, really.
so I have a couple. One was cannolis, obviously.
Yeah.
The other is wrapping day. Whenever I wrap,
Oh,
me and my dad always hated rapping, and the hatred that we had for rapping just translated to hatred to each other. So we decided to just start drinking when we rapped. So rapping day was today. Got it done, but I've also been drinking. So
hmm.
I had some Knob Creek bourbon. Very good. I made a Manhattan with that Knob Creek bourbon. That was also very good. And then I transitioned to my Monkey Shoulder scotch that I got some of. Also
Hmm.
very good. Monkey Shoulder is like my go-to blended scotch that's cheaper than it should be, if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
So,
Wish I wish I could like a manly drink like a scotch. I just don't. I just don't.
I
Don't.
guess I don't know. I feel like half of the stuff I drink is just straight, and that's fine. My thing with whiskeys is drink it how you want it. Like my dad likes to drink it with ice, and that's fine. It changes things. I think I just hate watered down drinks, so I don't like it like that. But that's a preference thing.
Man, the one drink I really like, which is the green tea drink, involves Jameson. But if I fuck up and
Okay.
I get like just a swig of I don't mix it, or like I might
Oh,
touch my
yeah.
hand and I get to that punch of Jameson. Oh my god, I just like I don't know what it is. Like something about like whiskey, like that flavor like hit to your like thing just like absolutely kills me. I'm also bad with shots. I don't do shots, and I feel like you're just slow sipping a shot.
Oh, I mean, that is absolutely what I'm doing. Yes,
So that's like the
a
other
hundred
issue.
percent.
I don't do shots. Shots are just I just can't.
And the other thing is like, I'll notice a lot of people that drink stuff straight is like they follow it up with a chaser of some sort.
Hmm.
I just don't need it. I don't
Yeah,
know.
no, again.
I remember some of the first drinking I ever did was Southern Comfort on ice straight.
Mm.
That's just like, I don't know why, but that's where I started. And I think that's kind of molded a little bit of everything. I don't know.
I've had to. There's I don't. I think it's like this person like sweet in me, but I've had to like force myself into liking most things that I drink currently.
I haven't had that issue, really.
That's
Uh,
good.
I will say I bought a bottle of this last year.
Hmm.
This was like a $65 bottle or so. Glenfiddich 12. Delicious. So smooth, delicious, fantastic. Would recommend.
Okay.
But for half the price, this Monkey Shoulder that's a blended scotch instead of a single malt, it's better than half the price, in my opinion. And that's why I like it.
Man, you're gonna make me soft pivot into like something I did want to talk about.
Oh, but before you do soft pivot, I made a Manhattan with an orange peel.
Mm-hmm.
I used a peeler to peel an orange. This was after like 2.5 drinks.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how to count drinks when I'm just sipping straight whiskey. So there's that too. I fucked up my pinky and tried to peel it off with a peeler.
Oh, well, don't do that.
I know, but I did. It's
Madeline and I
annoying.
have 64 ounces of hard cider sitting in a growler in our fridge that we got from last Friday.
Oh, that sounds delicious. I
Yes.
recently I went for pizza at Victor's, the fancy
Mm-hmm.
place that
Oh,
you
yeah.
need to be a cult member to join,
I
or
can't
whatever you want to
wait
call
to
it.
one day get to walk in there with you and get the fucking just slice of slices of pizza.
Uh, right in front of Victor's is a beer mart, which is a beer distributor.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided that it's the season for apple ciders, so I bought a case of Angry Orchard. Been very delicious.
I only like, when it comes to Angry Orchards, I only like the green apple. I don't like the normal one as much.
So I looked, and they had the variety pack. They had normal. They had green apple. I decided, and will stand by my decision, that I just got the normal ones. Fuck variety packs because they always have something I don't like.
Yes.
But I like the normal ones, so that's what I bought. I think I like green apple ones though. That would have been one
I
of the ones that I was okay with.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't do I like ciders. Again, I really don't like reds. It's fake. It's just so fake.
I feel like that one I haven't had any in a while though. But yeah.
Like if it's between like getting like a beer, if I'm like in the mood for a cider, but then the only thing they have is like a reds, I'm just gonna get something else because I'm like, no matter how, if I'm like really in the mood for a cider, I'm probably not gonna be happy by having a not
Yeah.
like good cider. I'm just not
So
gonna
what
get a
did you
cider.
get? What did you get?
I don't know. It was some brewery event, so it was some like made. It's
Okay.
like craft.
Sweet. Let me know how it is whenever you crack into it.
Oh, we had it. We had some at the bar, and then we
Oh yeah?
yeah.
Was it
I
good?
got a lager. Lager was good. Then I got a cider. The cider was good. I
Sweet.
get I get burpy when I drink cider. Cider's so carbonated.
There's a lot of stuff like that though. Yeah. But
Oh
yeah.
man. For right before the wedding, the weekend before, Madeline and I went to our favorite cidery. Well, they have like a brew house. It was like the rest. It was like their thing.
Yeah.
Um, did a cider tasting, so it was 5 ciders, and it was like full. It was like a glass, like a normal glass of cider. Like it was a whatever we paid for. I think was worth it.
So you got like a flight of ciders, but they were like full
Yeah,
glasses?
yeah. Basically, so I had
Hell
like
yeah.
5 full ciders, and Madeline's like, I don't like these two, so I like hit her two. I was in
Oh
pain.
boy.
I don't know if you've ever like had your stomach just being like absolutely like carbonated to
I
the
don't think
max.
I've went that hard now.
Oh my, it hurt to like move because it was like a balloon.
I
I just
believe
kept
it.
having to burp. I was just like burping and it was just not helping
I
enough.
believe it.
Okay, but let me soft pit. We have to undo. So I
Send me.
today they'll need refined, but I've finalized the first go arounds for the recipes for the jerky off.
Oh
But the
hell yeah.
one
Cause I'm gonna have to talk about this too then.
Well, the one we were talking about bourbon. So the one, and I'm gonna need your help because it's a maple bourbon beef jerky.
Okay.
So
Okay. That
I've just
sounds
posted the
delicious.
recipe.
Okay. Thank you for getting my attention with that. I appreciate that.
So,
Okay, what
so
the fuck is maple bourbon seasoning? Where do you get that?
Amazon. So it all started
Okay.
last night when I was on Amazon, being like, how can I find how do I find what I'm looking for? I just need season. I need inspiration.
A lot of brown
Uh,
sugar sounds good to me. Cause the molasses and the brown sugar will go with the maple and sweeten up the Yeah, that's a good amount of black pepper. You could cut back if you want to make this a real sweet thing, but I think that would be good.
of oh. So
The,
that's where I got in.
go
I
ahead.
was like half looking. I was like trying to. I had like three different recipes up, and I was trying to like.
Because that's a tablespoon of black pepper, which
Okay,
is for 2.5 pounds. That's not a small amount of black pepper, but it's the
gotcha. So
only spicy thing. So I'm not that concerned. It's not going to be
gotcha.
hot, but if you make it and decide that's a little spicier than I thought it was going to be, I would cut back a little bit.
I'm okay. So what here?
Bourbon, soy, Worcestershire, liquid. I mean, yeah, like the whole soy Worcestershire liquid smoke. That's basically in everything.
Yeah. Oh nope,
The
the one I sent you.
maple syrup, it's like whatever.
Oh, I sent you the wrong thing. Sent you the wrong thing.
Okay,
Pivot.
gonna close
I
that.
meant
That's
this one.
fine.
I clicked on the
Jesus
wrong one.
Christ, what is that link? Oh my, you making me do
Is
captchas? What the fuck?
that how? What?
I don't know. I just see a captcha. Okay, that's all right. I was not expecting.
So that also comes with like. So in there is some like that one specifically had garlic and onion in that seasoning, so I didn't want to add more because it's not a
Yeah,
garlicky oniony like.
no.
It's not the palette you're going for.
This sounds like a sweet kind of thing with maybe
I
like a little bit of black pepper to finish it. But
I
it's
might down
sweet.
that to 2 for the first time, and if I feel like it needs something,
Sounds completely reasonable.
um, I'm going more
Also,
sweet. Like yeah,
the whole sprinkle with brown sugar, that's gonna make this almost like a candied thing.
yeah, it's true. I might try it on
Which,
some to see how it turns out.
yeah, sure.
I was going with like we said last. I think we were talking about this last night. Everything's spicy.
Dude,
Everything's.
fucking everything, man.
I mean, I'm
I don't
not
know what
gonna
the
say I
deal
make
is.
recipes, but like I'm trying to like do my. I'm like trying to like take inspiration, but like
Oh
have
yeah,
my
no,
own thing.
absolutely,
You're like
absolutely, and
beef
and you're
jerky
doing
recipe.
it.
Like
Yeah,
try my spicers mix spicy. Your
dude.
spicy
I
spice.
I don't know what the fuck I made. Do you want to hear about this shit that I did?
Yeah.
So, all right, 3 days ago or something. I don't know. I finished up beef jerky for my mom and sister. I make them each a batch, right?
Mhm.
So I made like 3 pounds, 3.5 pounds of trimmed meat into beef jerky for both of them.
Gotcha.
I ended up with 1.5 pounds of finished product each. One got my like original toned down on spice. My mom got teriyaki like full bore. Um, that was about 3 pounds of finished beef jerky I made.
Mhm.
Which is like, it's not a full, but it's a sizable gallon bag of beef jerky.
Yes.
And then I went fucking bonkers. All right.
Yes. I
Because, like, the
yes.
problem is I make that and I give it all away. And it's like,
Right.
damn, I make all this beef jerky and I don't even get any. Like, I eat a piece or two just to make sure it's all looking good. And that's it. And it's like, shit, I want beef jerky now. Because
Right.
it never lasts long. So I decide, you know what? I'm going to make my own beef jerky. Fuck you. Oh, God, I got too much meat out, man.
Your bags were. I don't envy what your process is gonna be tomorrow because I swear it's probably just gonna be endless.
Nah,
Like
tomorrow's the easy day. So I ended up with 4.5 pounds of teriyaki to make. And then 2.25 pounds of Cajun that I made, which I am now dubbing frog bone
frog
because
bone.
that is the seasoning that I got. Let me search it up so you can see. I got like a Louisiana pre-boil mix,
Mhm.
So I bought frog bone, which is this stuff. It's like your standard run-of-the-mill Cajun seasoning that people put in boils to do like a crawfish or a crab or a shrimp boil, you know?
Fair.
And I just bought a shit ton of it because it was cheap.
Hmm.
So I'm calling that frog bone. There was a little bit more, but basically it's just some seasoning. I might sprinkle a little bit on top. We'll see how it seems like. I don't know. So I got 2.5 pounds of frog bone, 4.5 pounds of teriyaki, and then I don't know what the fuck I did for this last one, Nick. It's like some. So, like, I got inspiration. I bought a bottle of Thai chili dipping sauce.
Yes.
You know, like it's a sweet but spicy Asian dipping sauce.
Hmm.
And I got inspiration from that. It was like, whoa, let's make beef jerky out of this. How do I do that?
How
And
do
it,
I do?
and at first I was gonna just like buy a bottle, dump it in, a little bit of soy, a little bit of Worcestershire, a little bit of smoke, set it, forget it. We'll call that, write down what it is, see what I think about it.
Hmm.
But I didn't do that at all. So I've got like ground up, or not ground. I've got microplaned ginger and garlic. I bought a ginger root and microplaned it out. Some garlic. I got some fish sauce in there. I got
Oh, you're starting to lose.
uh
I don't know if this is a winner, to be honest with you.
dude, I have no idea until it's gonna come out.
It might be delicious, but you're starting to
It
lose me.
might be. I'm losing myself, man. Fucking that fish sauce. I like, so it had one of them pull tops, and I pulled it, and it was like, there's the top of it's a little wet. Let me just like smell it and lick it a little bit. Oh, do not
Ooh.
recommend. Fish sauce is not the thing you want to taste test.
I no, I
So
don't.
we got like fish sauce, ginger, garlic, and then do you know the? I forget the brand name. The sriracha that's in the rooster. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
With the green top.
Hmm.
So they make a garlic chili paste that's like a bunch of ground up chilies and some garlic.
Okay.
So I went with that. There's a little bit of like vinegar in there, some soy. I don't know. I've got it written down. We'll see how it turns out. We'll alter or fucking delete that shit. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm very interested to see how it's going to turn out. I'm hoping it's going to blow my brains off, but who knows?
I'm rooting for you.
Once that fish sauce came into play, I have lost hope, though. I'm going to be honest with you.
I
Like, I
I
understand where it's going and what it could do, but man, does it not inspire confidence.
I think you're in a big risk, big reward situation here. Like I think it could be like I think you could be like Nick. You're gonna try this, and you're gonna be like, "Fuck, I've
Yeah.
lost."
Oh,
Like,
I like. I'm hoping that's the direction it goes. I'm gonna find out tomorrow. I'll let you know. I don't know,
or you're gonna
man.
have like one smell of it and be like, "I just put it on the side of the road, the
Dude, I
refuse." Or
smelled
like,
that fish sauce and I already wanted to. And I have like 2.5 pounds of it before dehydration. Like it's. I started with like 11 pounds of meat before trimming. It's a
mhm,
lot of meat. I
yeah.
am going to fill my dehydrator tomorrow.
How many pounds do you think you can get in there?
Oh, we're at it. It's like 9.
Okay,
Or no, not 9. It's I can almost get a pound per tray. It all depends on how thick I slice it though.
gotcha.
Like that's the determining thing.
I think
Um
I I think I could space mine better. Like,
yeah.
I could probably get like 5.
Let me go back to let me check my pictures and talk to you. Cuz I took a picture of a tray out last time.
If I like really, if I filled up every inch and like complete did like a sheet of meat,
Yeah.
I could do like 5.
So like this is my general tray, you
Mm-hmm.
know. This isn't squeezing, but this isn't being relaxed either. This is like a medium compaction
How
tray of
many
beef
trays do
jerky.
you have?
10.
Oh, okay.
They're like
Makes sense.
15 and a half by 15 and a half. They're square trays.
I think mine are like 12, but I think mine are like a foot. Well, I don't know what
I'm
mine
going to
are.
be
They're like
honest,
13.
my dehydrator is huge,
Yeah.
you know. But like I also took a picture of this tray as they were done. They shrink a lot, you know.
Yes.
So as they start shrinking, you get more and more airflow.
Do
So
you
that's why
flip
I'm not
yours?
too. No, I don't do shit.
No, no. All right,
Uh,
okay, you don't even. I by flip I meant like rotate your trays.
nope.
Okay.
I. So I'm coming from a dehydrator that used to be a heating element on the bottom,
Mhm.
and then it had circular trays going up, and then a lid on the top.
Mhm.
And what would happen is the bottom ones were really hot because that's where the heating element was, and the tops
Yeah.
were really cold. So I always had to come out like hourly and rotate and spin all these trays, and I hated it. It was terrible. Like
Mhm.
I would offer to give you that dehydrator if you wanted it, but I would also tell you you don't want it, kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Um, and I've since upgraded to this dehydrator, which has a circulation fan and a bunch more trays. Like when I open the door, I feel this fan pushing warm air at me.
Okay,
So
so yours
mine's
is a
got
fan at the back pushing forward.
yeah, it's got so much circulation. It's not an issue at all. I just
Mine's the same way. I've just noticed that the jerky right at the very back, it
okay,
gets crispy. It gets crispy a lot faster than the
sure,
front.
sure, and that's one of those you got to learn yours kind of thing.
Yeah, so I think what I'm gonna start doing is like rotate it just so that like the stuff that's sitting at the very
Yeah,
front gets a chance at the very back, and the
yeah,
stuff that's at the very back gets a reprieve of it.
like a
Yeah,
spin them
yeah,
180
spin.
degrees. Yeah,
Yeah,
sounds great. I
and
do
that's
have a
like halfway. I'm not gonna do it like every hour. That's
no, no, no. Once
like
you do it
halfway through.
once. Yeah,
Yeah.
like this is my dehydrator. Um,
Mhm.
so you can see the size of those trays. This is like a standard butcher block. You
It's
know,
huge.
like
Yeah.
it's pretty deep. It's like a cabinet. You know, it's like your countertops. Um, it's almost that size, and it's big. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a big dehydrator.
Yeah.
I usually use like 6 or 7 trays. Tomorrow I'm gonna probably be using all 10.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes.
Oh, before we get to your new piece of equipment, I will back to my recipe. I'm gonna eventually need a recommendation of a good, like, not overpowering bourbon, but like a good, like, flavorful bourbon, but not like break the
Okay.
bank. Like I don't.
No, yeah, I got you. I mean,
So just
yeah, easy,
doesn't have to be
no
now.
problem.
But just think in mind of like what would be like a good marinade, like a bourbon that you would. It's not like I could taste that like Maker's Mark. I don't know Maker Mark. Like
I've never had Maker's Mark even. I'm gonna be
really.
honest with you.
Okay.
Yeah, I almost bought some. I didn't. I bought Knob Creek instead.
Gotcha. I feel like Maker's Mark's kind of like just the name brand. Not or
It
it's
is.
a name brand.
It's like if somebody says bourbon and has no clue what they're talking about, that's
Hmm.
one of the first ones I think about.
Gotcha.
I usually kind of because it's on hand and I don't know where it came from. I cook with Jim Beam bourbon. It's not bad. I don't have
Okay.
any issue with it. I have a bottle of Jim Beam bonded. It supposedly stays in the cask a little longer, you know, gets a little bit more of that flavor. Great option. Um Bourbons that I will never say no to. That I think is probably a little step up in price, not too much though. Bullet
Hmm.
bourbon has been one of my favorites.
Gotcha.
This Knob Creek that I just tried, also very good. No complaints whatsoever.
Okay.
To be
Yeah.
honest,
That's like the only
Woodford
other unknown. Just
Reserve,
because I don't drink it.
great. Yeah. No, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Honestly, I haven't found one that I have been upset about yet. So
gotcha. Yeah. I th this one, I don't, you're gonna this recipe is gonna be a hard one, I think, to match. Think you're gonna match it, but I think it's gonna give you a run for
It's
your money, 'cause I
it's
think it's
so
gonna come out
different.
well.
I think I could see it. Yeah, I could see it. I'm curious to know. Also, to the people listening, so like it seems like this whole our Discord squad of people is gonna get together about once a year, do something together.
At least for the
Me and
next two.
Nick, me and Nick have taken it upon ourselves to have a beef jerky off during these times.
During
So
these trying times.
there's like some trash talk going on here that you might be hearing.
And the
So
fun, like, I'm not even upset about losing, but I'm just gonna make sure you can't just like walk away with it from Bruno's original. I'm trying to like match up a good one. Like,
I'm gonna tell you right now, you better watch out for fucking frog bone and stinky fish. All right, those are the names.
Frogbone, I think, is gonna have some goodness to it. Stinky Fish, I think, is gonna. you might wanna. You might
Stinky
wanna hit that.
fish might be the #1 beef jerky coming up. Okay, you better watch yourself. All right.
Uh, do you want to get into your new thing, or do you want to hit my other recipe up to see what it is? I'll let you decide what we want to do.
So we can talk about it. So obviously I just went through about 20 pounds of meat, right?
Yes.
New slicer that I just bought.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, spent a lot of money on a slicer setup because it's a slicer and table combo with caster wheels on the bottom. Dude, the emotions that I have for this thing is anger, okay?
That you didn't
I'm
do it sooner.
pissed that I haven't done this 5 years ago. It is so phenomenally great. Like, I cut meat by hand about 1 year, okay? Then I bought a slicer. And after like 5 years, I bought a new slicer. I'm so pissed, okay? It's so good. The whole like, remember how I gave you tips of like a little bit of frozen helps? You know, get that little bit of... My slicer doesn't give a shit about what condition the meat's in.
You just
It's
gotta
like,
go.
oh, you want a slice? Let's go. I got you.
Wham, wham.
I couldn't have sliced more than 10 minutes for all 20 pounds of meat.
Damn.
Like, it did not take me much time at all to chunk through meat. You know, and we're talking... So today I did my wrapping. I threw these 2 bags in a box, wrapped them up. You know, that's a lot of beef jerky to end up with. I don't know if you've seen a bag that full yet. I don't know if you've made that much yet.
My one. How much was that?
1.5 pounds finished each. Like 8 pounds going in.
That was probably like, I don't know if. I think the way my slices came out, it didn't look that like that, but it was that amount roughly. Because I did do 3 pounds. I did do a 3 pound, a little bit over a 3 pound. It was like 3.2 pounds when I started. I probably cut off like, you know, 0.4 of a pound. It wasn't that fatty, actually. I was really surprised.
Mine,
maybe cut on.
My cuts have been pretty fatty lately.
But mine was maybe like. Well, you also got a lot of sale ones, so I don't know if like you got.
Yeah. I think those have been really fatty.
Yes.
But I can't complain because of how cheap they were per pound.
Yes. So I think mine had a little less fat, but I think I probably got around 1.5 pounds from what I did out of it. When everything was said and done, I think I roughly got this. It probably looked a little different because of the way mine sliced compared to yours.
So, because I remembered that I have numbers, I started with 8.15 pounds of meat. Like, that was the pack that I cut up for these pictures that you're seeing. 8.15 pounds. Trimmed it down to 6.26. So I almost trimmed 2 pounds off of it. And then dehydrated it down to 3 pounds.
Gotcha.
So that's how the numbers worked out. And then I got another one of those, and I had a smaller, like, 3 pound chunk. for this next batch, which you got this picture here. So like I said, there's like a little over 4 pounds in the middle for teriyaki. The right's Cajun, the left's stinky fish. We'll see. I think I need to put some more zip ties on my trays to figure out which is which.
You might be able to tell by this. Wait. I know it's a little bit more work, but I don't know if I'd do stinky fish with your teriyaki and your Cajun. Maybe it would be a good thing to do that one in its own run. You
I'll
can
tell
do you.
Instead, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll put it on the bottom to make sure it doesn't drip on anything else.
Because your other jerky might have a stinky fish aroma, and I don't know if that's an okay thing or not.
No, dude, I ain't fucking dealing with more. I already did 2 batches. I ain't doing a third, okay? It's not happening.
What the fuck? Oh. So, okay. So, new slicer with a big thumbs up?
Oh my god, like, as many limbs as I can find, dude. Thumbs up. I'll put some toes out. We're like,
That
if you're doing anything in large quantities of meat and trying to slice it at a consistent rate, you need a slicer and spend some money on it because you'll thank yourself.
maybe one day when I have the house.
Maybe, dude. Like, I relate it to how much of a step up it was to go from slicing by hand to that slicer that I sold you. Like, it's that big of a step again for what I did.
Yeah. So I think if I keep continuing with the jerky thing, I'm like, what would I upgrade more faster, the dehydrator or like the slicer? And I'm like, well, I'm gonna get everything all perfect for the dehydrator that I'll never want to change. It'll be like your computer mouse. It's like they have newer, nicer. You can get wireless. You can get this, that, and the other thing. But like your old mouse is your old mouse, and you know how to you know how it like.
Yeah. The dehydrating part isn't as bad though.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like time it and figure out when to take it off.
Plus,
The
you can upgrade
slicing
your
part
dehydrator. You can get 2 dehydrators and get double the amount of jerky.
I'll tell you, I do a lot of fucking jerky, and I'm tired of making it every time I make it. I don't know what to say. I will say, my dehydrator seems to be a pretty good price to size as far as that goes. So I might be able to find you another one.
The fuck? Amazon's making those fancy ass fucking coolers now for actually in a reasonable price, I would say.
I was going to say that's not that reasonable, but then I saw that it's a 45 quart cooler, and it's actually kind of reasonable.
I mean, for the 45, like if that was a Yeti brand, that'd be like $500.
No, yeah.
No, you were on the 20 quart one for price.
I know. I'm curious what. So like I have one of these coolers. I have a fancy cooler. I have a Pelican 20 quart cooler. Mine is not this stupid shape. I hate this shape. I don't know why they changed this. I don't like it. I think it's to get to wine consumers that want to put wine bottles in here. I think that's why it's this shape now. Not me, all right? Not me. So fuck this cooler. But I have an old, like, it's a skinnier, fatter version. I think it was the same price, though. That one seems comparable. 45 quarts, that one seems pretty good because I think they jump up to about $300 usually for this.
I just looked at it. I'm like, that's actually a pretty okay price.
I find it funny that they have a picture of people taking off the Amazon sticker.
Yeah.
That's interesting to me.
I mean, it looks. I mean, it. If you
I don't know how
it
much
just
you can
looks
fuck up these coolers if you use the same system. Like, they're calling it a
Yeah.
roto-molded cooler, which is the technology that they use, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much you can fuck it up. Like, I think
don't
it's...
think you can that much. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
Amazon doing it cheaper.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest, I really like my cooler, though, for many reasons.
Do you know how much my fucking clothes anymore or Amazon Essentials.
I
A
have a
lot.
couple things, and they're nice.
Yeah,
I
I
can't
have a lot
complain
of
about
Amazon
them.
Essential shit. But the thing is, Bruno, even when it starts to wear, it's really fucking cheap just to replace. And it wears about the same
Yeah,
rate as the other shit that wears.
they're like a third of the price usually. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
honest with
And
you,
it's like,
which
oh,
is
well, it's worn
crazy.
away. I'm like, I'll just get another one. Man,
It's
li-
hard to
yeah.
like beat that, you know?
Well, I know. Oh, you can get the little cage for it.
Okay,
Hold on.
hold on. That's kind of cool.
I wouldn't
It's
pay
a
170.
okay. That's a lot more than I thought. I thought it was gonna be
Oh,
like
though, but
80
like,
bucks.
but if that's gonna be like keeping your like team's Gatorade, like that's like
Yeah,
five.
I have one of these that's not a roto mold. Like it's a normal basic
Mhm.
bitch one. Huh. That could be nice. I was thinking 5 gallons and be like, oh, sweet little car cooler for car trips, you know?
Okay, this isn't okay. Yeah, like, oh my fuck, hello. I didn't realize these
What?
were so fucking expensive.
What?
Apparently, it's not that bad of a price, to be honest with you.
No, these are not. Maybe because it's Rubbermaid. I've bought these for like 20 bucks before.
Have you?
Like, I bought these for a party and it wasn't that unreasonable of a price. For single use, almost.
That one that says Gatorade on it's $71.
Okay, that's a little fucking ridiculous. Alright. Maybe it's a pretty good price to get an Amazon one. Yeah, you can get the basket to put inside. Yeah. So, like, here's my deal, right?
Hmm.
When I bought this cooler, I decided that I bought my razor, right? And I
Hmm.
was trying to do like longer trips with it, have like a day trip kind of thing, and be able to have drinks and lunch.
Hmm.
And it had to withstand the harsh environments of me off road riding, as well as being placed directly on top of the engine. It's like if you took the hood of your car off and strapped a cooler to the engine block. That's
Hmm.
basically what I did. So I decided to spend the extra money on a cooler, and I decided on a Pelican because I liked the closing mechanism and the handle. The closing mechanism being it's like a dual stage latch that you have to push in a button and then pull it out. It's a very simple in operation, but it still gives them the bear proof rating that they were looking for.
Bear proof.
Instead of like the if you look at a Yeti, it's like T handles that I hate.
Hmm.
So I went with Pelican, and I still to this day agree with my decision, and I like it because I hate
Yeah.
these T handles because they're just annoying as shit to me.
I don't not agree with you.
And I just liked it, and I figured out that they're all roto molded, so they're all using the same shit. So it's basically pick your favorite, and they were all about the same price. I think Arctic makes some cheap-ish ones. Like if you were looking for an off-brand cooler, I would say Arctic, RTIC. They make some decently priced ones.
Well,
Like
okay, if you're gonna,
this is
sorry.
a 52 quart cooler that's 220. So it's like it's not bad
So on that Amazon one, did you click through the options and prices?
for the Amazon cooler. I didn't
Yeah.
really.
So go to white
Yeah.
and then go to the 60 quart.
Holy shit. A 60 quart roto molded cooler for 200 bucks?
It's like good.
I'm going to be honest, that's pretty good. A 60 quart cooler is huge though. It's one of those things that I wouldn't want it unless I had a use for it, kind of thing.
Yeah, but that's like
That's
you
a good
buy one of
price.
you buy one of these things for life, basically.
I mean, yeah, I I'm very rough on my cooler because of the whole vibrations from off-road riding, and
Hmm.
it's standing up very well. I wouldn't be like It's not like it's gonna wear a hole through anytime soon. And I'm rough on it.
Rough. I like my, I got a cooler backpack I leave in my car for stuff. It'll probably be how,
I'm in the market for a smaller, nicer cooler. Haven't decided on one that I like enough yet though.
I feel like I'm gonna need to get a nice cooler for the, the wine trip.
So like I brought a cooler with
Hmm.
I brought an empty cooler with for when your wedding. So I brought it with.
Hmm.
I brought it with to like if we went outside and decided to take some drinks with us, throw some in the cooler or whatever. It also came in handy because no one wanted to take leftover food home. So I just took it all and they just piled it into my cooler.
Good.
It was just one of those things that I took it with to hopefully be helpful, and it was.
Plan on not being not wine drunk the whole weekend.
Yeah, I foresee a lot of drinks happening.
Go on a
I'm gonna be honest,
hike, just
like we were drinking a lot for your wedding.
yeah, it'd
Like,
be shitty when like there's a winery you can go get a new bottle like ten
like I
seconds
know.
away.
Yeah, like for your wedding, we got there. The first day was like the everybody get there and get our shit together day. Okay, so like everybody grouped
Hmm.
up. We went out shopping. Right, we got some food. We also stopped at a beer distributor on the way home. Bought beer. We even bought cold shit so that we could come home and drink it, okay? So we drank that night. Next morning, ate some breakfast. Mid morning, her came out with beers as we were sitting on the porch and we were just drinking again. So we kind of pre-gamed your wedding a little bit. Then we got to your wedding, drank a lot, drank more when we got home, had pizza that was ready and waiting for us to throw in the oven. So that was sick.
Hmm.
And then the next day was like I mean, it was a day of chilling together at the house and doing whatever the fuck we thought about. We
Yeah,
went and did some bowling, came back. There was still beer left. We drank it. You know?
gonna need more of the pills.
Is that your hydration stuff that you were talking about
Yeah, hell yeah,
before?
those things work great.
Do they? Have they been doing
Uh,
good for you?
Madeline had them too. They're great. If you're sore, I've
Sweet.
popped them a couple times when I'm sore.
Does it
Sore
help
muscles
out?
to replenish the electrolytes.
Sweet. I'm glad that they're
Okay,
not a scam.
they they probably are to some degree, but they're not scammy.
Hey, if you're seeming them as worthful, that's all that matters.
Yes. Okay. I second recipe for beef jerky. We'll pivot reback.
Oh,
This is just gonna be called like
bring it back. Let's
the
go.
beef jerky
You got a
round
name
table.
yet?
I need help with the name as well.
See, like I got Frogbone and Stinky Fish. I need you to get some names going on.
Um,
What the fuck is that name? Why is it called fake sauce?
'Cause it's gonna use buffalo sauce.
Oh, okay. Onion, garlic, ranch, buffalo, pepper, paprika. I
I
mean,
don't know
this
if I should
sounds
do.
great.
I don't know if okay. So I'm at a point where like after looking at a lot of recipes, I don't know if I should do paprika or cayenne.
So cayenne is gonna hit you with spice.
Okay.
Paprika is like a little bit of color, a little bit of flavor. Paprika is they are not comparable at all, in my opinion.
I was trying to
Because
like look, and they said one gives you like a more like fruity, like they say fruity as like the palate, but like it's definitely light on the heat versus
that's
cayenne that's hot.
paprika. Cayenne
But
is
then again,
like
the rest
Cajun spice.
yes, but then again, the recipes I'm looking at never had anything about the buffalo ranch powder. Like there's already a spice coming from a lot of other things, but there was another one. I don't know how spice like
I
some of
don't
them
know what
are trying to
Buffalo
just be like,
Ranch powder is going to end up like. I would definitely try this without cayenne first.
gotcha.
And if you aren't satisfied with the heat level, maybe add a little bit of cayenne.
Yeah, I
Cayenne's one
might
of those
be
things
more
that
hot.
it,
Yeah,
it definitely tries to make things hot.
I know for like your other one, you only did like a teaspoon of your like habanero style, but
That shit's hot though.
yeah. So Frank's is a lot less like it's
Frank's is
obviously
like
lower
not even
down.
on the same scale.
Yeah. So I have 1 tablespoon. I might amp that up a little bit.
That doesn't sound unreasonable though. To give you some heat and flavor.
Yeah.
I don't see that as being too much.
Mhm.
That sounds like a good starting point to me.
Yeah. So that's my
Like
other one.
Frank's Red Hot is like, ah, that's a sauce that gives flavor, and it's hot enough for me to call it a hot sauce. The stuff I was putting in is like nuclear war hot sauce.
Mhm.
So it's like the stuff I usually put in is like dangerous. Like
Hot.
for my
Yeah.
sister, that 3 pounds or not 3 pounds, that yeah, it was like three and a little bit pounds of meat that I put in.
Mhm.
For my sister who doesn't like things hot, I took a knife and dipped it into the bottle and pulled it back out, and that's how much I put in. It's like less than a teaspoon. And that still makes it a little bit hot.
Gotcha.
So it's like
Gotcha.
I'm very careful with my sauce. I love the flavor of it. I love that it's not a vinegar based hot sauce, but god damn is it hot.
Yeah, I need help with a name. I know fake sauce, Buffalo Boy. I'm trying to think of something that would jab at Fee, but nothing was
I know,
jumping out at me.
I'm thinking about that now too. Uh you could just call
Yeah.
it like buffalo wing beef jerky. Cause like I know how upset he gets when you call them buffalo wings instead of just calling them wings.
Buffalo. I might just he might I know he hate like ranch is gonna kill him too, so I might be like Buffalo
Oh,
Ranch.
you're right. Or you
Buffalo
could call it like blue cheese beef jerky. Ah, how do you get blue cheese in it? Oh, there's absolutely no blue cheese whatsoever. It's actually ranch.
I like it. Yes. So I think the fun thing is for this competition, do you think we're going would you rather that us like if we do 2 flavors apiece, put like my side of the table with my 2 flavors, your side, or do you think we should like fucking switch it up on them that they just have four bags of unknown origin?
I'm saying A B C D.
Okay.
No knowledge, no names, no nothing. A B C D. And just let them have at it. Pick their favorites.
Do you know how hard this car ride's gonna be for you and me as we have like quite literally we're gonna have so much beef jerky.
Pounds. I did the math of what I would probably charge if I cared and tried to make
Yeah,
money on beef jerky.
I could not.
For my holiday, I made $900 worth of beef jerky.
Oh my god. Okay. Yeah.
So that's a number.
Yeah.
So like
Really is it?
I'm going to be honest, it's probably a high price, but you have to remember that I don't like making it. So I
Mhm.
wouldn't sell it for less.
Oh no, I look at it as like at one point I was like, oh, you know, making it our beef jerky's expensive. I'm gonna make it myself and it's gonna be really cheap. Then you look at it,
Fuck no.
it's actually decent. Like for what you're getting, like for just being able to buy it, it's actually okay price.
Sort of. If you buy
Okay, I
meat
said
on
so.
sale, that number goes way down.
It does, but like their time, effort, energy into all of it.
Oh, no, yeah, absolute. Cuz it's like I spend multiple hours on the slicing day due to
Hmm.
trimming. It's basic. My first day is like making a marinade takes like 15 minutes. Trimming takes almost an hour, depending on how much meat I make. Because I spend a lot of time trimming, especially with the shit I've been buying lately. Slicing was like 15 minutes. Throw it in a bag, let it sit for a day, come back to it, lay it all out on trays.
Hmm.
Come back to it, put it all away. It's not. There's some work to be done, you know? And I think you've realized this now.
Yeah, I think I'm. What's Friday? Christmas Eve's Friday.
I believe so. Yeah.
Probably gonna. I want to. I might overpay, but I don't know quite yet what I'm doing for New Year's Eve or day. Yeah, Eve. Cause like Madeline works New Year's Day, so she's gonna like she's not gonna be staying up. We're not going out, or she's not going out because she has to wake up by 6 o'clock to like
New
go to
Year's
work.
Day, you said she works?
She works day,
Okay.
so like Eve is kind of like shitty because you can't really like do anything. 'Cause she wants to go to bed and like be ready for the next day at work.
Yeah, it's.
But I'm over here off, so I don't know if I'm gonna drive down. Like my best man, me and their family get together every year, typically on New
Okay.
Year's Eve, and do it
Sure.
up. I'm like, I already need to go to Giant tomorrow because I'm getting my brother. I still need to pick up my brother's like gambling gift card, which
Okay.
uh we we just we just watched a movie with my dad Saturday, and he said on his 21st he plans on the night he turns 21 is the night of the college football championships, and he's like, I'll be able to make the end of the game bets by the time I turn 21.
Oh,
So he's already
okay.
like
That's
he
interesting.
yeah, so he's like he was all in on like betting. So I'm like, oh yeah, he's gonna love. He's like, I'm gonna make my last minute big bets on whoever's the underdog and just ride it out. Oh sweet. So he's already planning on it. So I'm like, this gift card's gonna be great. So I'm
Yeah,
thinking
that's
like,
cool.
ah, if I'm already out and like I want to bring some jerky to New Year's Eve, I might pick up some overpriced meat just to like, cause no one else has
Yeah,
tried it, but
we can
like
do. I mean, you took some to work and it seemed to go over well, which is
people
cool.
liked it.
Yeah.
Cause the Friday batch is gonna be the the buffalo style.
Okay. Yeah.
The the
Cool.
the the the,
The blue cheese.
the blue cheese wing dip.
I love it.
Why does it
Oh,
taste like ranch? I don't know.
why you call it blue cheese? Has nothing to do with blue cheese.
Nothing. Nada.
By the way, while we're on the subject, I'll give
Whoa, whoa,
you
whoa, 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 what was that?
the cooler ad.
Yeah, let's get a cooler.
Hold on, let me. I'll see
Use
if I can
the
get it again.
just use
Oh
the
fuck.
let's use the podcast one.
So
Cup of
this
coolers, huh?
is
Ooh,
the
cup of water.
base.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's
Did you do it?
probably I did. It's probably because things like fish sauce and chili paste, also like really salty and strong ingredients. This
I'm
was
not really sure about this one. I'm really just not feeling it. I hope
so
it's
this
great. I hope it's amazing.
this was my base recipe. I also added some ginger because a lot of them had ginger in them, but this was like the one I went off of most.
Bruno, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think a 48-hour marinade might also be a little aggressive for this one.
Possibly. We're gonna figure that one out.
Again, I'm really for this. I want this to work.
Also, by the way, if you ever cared, it also works with goose.
Don't. I don't. I don't think you should try. I don't think it should be a thing. I don't know how you slice a goose into like strips.
Dude, I got no fucking idea. But you know what? If I ever kill a goose and have goose meat, I might come back to this. So this was my inspiration. We'll see how the fuck it turns out. Because I have
So,
no
okay,
clue.
hear me out.
Yep.
Sounds like you and me are going like. Sounds like you and me are probably going to be developing new recipes in the coming years, right? Like we've obviously are
Sure.
like.
I've tried more recipes in the past week than I have in the past 5 years, Nick. Okay.
So at some point we should unite and make. I just imagine a huge plan. We'll make a cookbook.
Oh, a
We'll
jerky book.
publish, yeah, the jerky cookbook. Like we'll make a jerky cookbook. We'll publish that. Refer people to our podcast. We'll blow up the
Oh
podcast.
shit!
We'll turn it into a jerky, a complete
It's a
jerky,
cooking podcast now.
a complete jerky cooking focused podcast.
Thursdays are the best days for cooking, Nick.
It's just a hard pivot on the podcast. That becomes a second revenue stream. We get to write off all of our jerky making for the
Wait a
cookbook
second,
on the
we're making
podcast.
money?
Yeah. And that all funds the gun shop.
Mind blown. Sell beef jerky at the gun shop. Let's go.
With the book.
Book, beef jerky, podcast, guns. Done.
Oh my god. We make the beef jerky at the gun shop. So it smells like guns and jerky. And they buy the jerky. And then we offer axe throwing.
Okay. Back it up a little bit, okay?
Yeah.
I was ingredient searching, alright? I needed ginger for this fucking stinky fish recipe, alright?
Can we call it stinky fish jerky?
No, it's already done, already decided. That's what it's called, okay? So, I needed ginger, I needed teriyaki sauce, I needed some other shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
I really like the teriyaki sauce I get at Shady Maple, my local grocery store that also happens to be right next to the smorgasbord that you might have been familiar with already, right?
Called Shady Maple.
Exactly. One's the Shady Maple smorgasbord, one's Shady Maple Farm Market. I go to the grocery store, okay?
Yeah, but which one's the grocery store?
The farm market.
Yeah, but I thought that was...
Don't hit me, okay? Don't do it. I inquired about buying a gallon of teriyaki sauce. And
who do you just walk up to it? Who?
I looked for the produce manager, okay?
The produce man. Why would you go up to fucking like a Burry and be like,
because that's where they fucking have the sauce now. I tried the meat guy and he didn't tell me shit. He told me to go to the produce guys. All right.
Okay.
They mixed up the store on me, fucked me all up. Had to go somewhere else now. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't offer me a very good deal. All right.
No.
They sell these bottles in like 12-ounce bottles. Okay.
Okay.
I was looking for one 1-gallon bottle. They used to sell some of their stuff in a 1-gallon bottle. They have some like bourbon barbecue, like some bourbon glaze that they make that they used to sell in big bottles. I couldn't remember if they had other stuff. Don't know. Tried asking. I want a gallon of this stuff. Well, we don't do that. If you want, though, we'll sell you a case of 12 bottles for 10% off. Seems kind of shitty to me.
Not great.
Not great. Also, these bottles are expensive to begin with. They're like $4.80 little bottles. They're on the expensive side.
That's going to be no for me.
I know, but they're like real nice. They got lots of stuff in them. Lots of chunks of good stuff.
Well, Bruno, maybe. Maybe.
And maybe that's why I'm going to have an edge on you coming into this competition. Because I got quality ingredients. Like fresh, microplaned ginger in my stinky fish beef jerky.
That shit's going to last forever. Eric's gonna be like, no, what's gonna happen?
Oh,
Eric's
okay.
gonna
Can
love
we
it.
talk about that? Because there's no fucking way that Eric is gonna have the patience to cook shit.
I love Eric,
Eric
but I
has the
know Eric's
intention to
person.
buy either like a smoker or a dehydrator to make beef jerky.
But if you know his personality, it's more on the like.
Uh, he's got a fucking flame and potato next to his name in Discord for a reason. He microwaved a baked potato, an already cooked baked potato, for
Into
like
charcoal.
20 minutes and turned it into a charcoal briquette.
I so wish we had that picture.
I don't know. It must have been on Snapchat because I vividly remember a picture of a potato that was glowing red.
I remember sitting in Discord, just being like, "Oh, I'm gonna go warm up a potato," and be like, "Oh, okay," and then
And
like
somebody being
again,
like, hey, what happened to that potato, man?
and he's like, "Oh, it's still, I've set it for 20 minutes," and we were like,
What the
"What?"
fuck? Like, even for a raw potato, 20 minutes is a long time.
Yeah, and I'm like, "What?" And I think he's like, "Oh fuck, guys, I'll be back. My microwave's on fire." And we're like, "Yeah,
He
no
had to
dip,
buy a new microwave the next day.
yes."
Like,
Yeah.
I think he permanently broke the microwave.
Oh man. So the guy I work with, he gets those like Stouffer meals for lunch.
Okay.
The it's either the beef stroganoff or the Swedish meatballs. Call for you to put it in the microwave for 9.5 minutes, and I only think about the potato.
What? Jesus Christ.
I'm like, I know my friend turned a potato into charcoal in 20 minutes. You're telling me you put this plastic tray of food in for 9.5 minutes? He's like, that's what the instructions say.
Jesus.
Now, first, um,
Dude, like, I'm gonna pose the question. How many of the people in our Discord are food literate? How many of them could cook food for themselves, do you think?
uh,
I know I can.
you
I'm
can.
I'm fairly confident that you could pull some stuff off.
Yeah, I can do it. It's not gonna be great, but I can do it.
No.
Uh, I
Her
think
and
Fee.
Fee are like unknowns, but they live by themselves and probably cook some stuff.
I, I think her has the confidence to do it, but then I know it's her, so it's just like
True.
he's
True.
gonna lose control of the situation way too fast. He's like, whoa, whoa,
True.
whoa, whoa,
True.
whoa, whoa, oh, hey, whoa, oh, ooh. Oh, you see, Bruno, I threw in the salt, and oh my god, we had 7 different herbs and spices. We
Yo,
had,
did you know that if you boil water that has milk in it, it goes fucking crazy?
yeah, like I think I'm confident in Fee. I don't know if Eric's really ever cooked for himself,
I don't know, man.
and that's mostly because I always hear Eric.
Yep.
Um,
No,
Fredo.
it's mostly because I've watched this man turn a potato into charcoal.
Yeah, yeah. Burry. Again, I don't know if Burry cooks. I've never heard Burry say, "Oh, I made this." So I just have never heard him say like
Yeah, I don't either. I don't think I've ever heard that.
Fredo. Fredo. I wouldn't be surprised if Fredo came in as like, "Oh fuck,
I
look at this like stir fry I've made. It's like banging." I'd
yeah,
be like,
I
"Go."
just last night heard him saying to keep rice, like leftover rice, to make fried rice with it.
Yeah,
So literally in the past 24 hours, I have gained a lot of confidence in Fredo cooking for himself.
but yeah. I think
I
you're probably the best.
definitely, I think I can confidently say I have the most hope in myself for cooking meals
Oh no, yeah, 100%.
by
I
like
think
a
you
pretty
should.
good margin.
I think 1,000% you should say all of those words again. Like I think you've
Fucking, I get rapped on about my chili, but everybody wants my fucking chili now.
It's a mystery for us.
I understand that. I
Um,
demysteried the beef jerky, and now I turned one of the people into making beef jerky.
I just like things to do, and it's a fun. It's not a fun thing to do, but it's a fun thing to have. Like
Yeah,
at the end
no,
result, you're
I
like
got
really
you.
happy with a big ass bag of jerky, and you're like, oh, that was great.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Ooh, we have like okay. I need to get all the house stuff in.
Oh, you got house stuff. Let's go.
Yeah. So
It's the new jerky vessel. What
yeah,
you
so
got?
we saw 4 houses.
4. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so we saw townhouse. Really liked the townhouse. It was actually pretty nice.
Now, when
Um,
you say a townhouse, are we talking like smashed in
connected.
between houses on each side?
Yeah, this one was an end unit, but yes.
Okay.
But this one also had
Okay.
a garage.
Okay. That happens. Detached
Uh,
or attached?
eh, the garages were like in front. They were attached to your neighbors, but like they
Okay. Close enough.
like
I got you.
eh. It
A
was
little bit
attached
of
to the house.
both.
You could go in it from the house, but
Okay.
like it was out in
That's good.
front. Yeah.
All right.
Um.
So townhouse number 1.
Oh yeah, that was Smoker City. Fucking dude didn't
Oh,
not
really?
chain smoking. Like my
Everything.
eyes were burning with like 15 minutes in there, and I'm someone that's around smoke in my life. Like
That's rough.
it was
Like
just pure
I have
menthol.
also been around smoke in my life. Like both of my parents used to be smokers. My dad has since quit,
Hmm.
but I still get like I can tell,
Yeah,
when somebody smoked a lot in somewhere.
yeah. It was just it was more than I'd ever want to ever have to deal with. It was just
Yeah.
complete turn
And
off.
that's enough off-putting for me that to not compromise, to be honest with
Yeah.
you.
So, good house. We'd look at. I mean, it's one of many, so we'd definitely look at another one that comes up. Um,
Good point. Yeah.
but that
Good
that
point.
specific one we passed on.
Yeah.
Um, the next night we looked at. Remember how I said we looked at that woman's one that was like 1040 square foot?
It sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we looked at another one that was the same company. It was 1040 square footage. We originally thought that was gonna be too small for us, but the way they laid out their house was so much better that
Yeah.
the rooms
It
weren't like
felt better.
massive. Obviously, the room behind me and like they were more like
Like this is the room you're in isn't that large.
no, but the one over there is actually pretty large and it has a
Yeah.
walk-in closet. So
Okay.
it'd be it'd be a little less that, but like the kitchen was nice and big. It had a massive like composite like whatever the deck is of like the fake wood, like plastic.
Yeah. A
Um
composite. Composite
composite
deck.
deck, like massive, almost went the whole length of the house.
That's that's helpful.
Fully
Absolutely.
finished basement with like
The
a
basement gets you a
full
lot of square footage too when you start
yeah, with a
calculating, because that
laundry
doesn't
room, an
count.
extra half bath.
Oh, that's
And they did the whole like 9 yards with like because it's well water over there in that neighborhood, so it's like you had a newish well pump, water softener, UV light,
oh, they had all
filtration. Like
the inline stuff to make it nice.
oh yeah,
That's good.
we looked at it. The price was a little high, but like it was
Sure.
still nice. So I'm gonna tell you that was our second house we made an offer on. We
Sure.
basically said we could tell there was like 5 groups of people there by the time we left. We saw in and out. So
Yeah.
many people were looking at it.
Yeah.
Our real estate agents like, you want to put an offer? It's like we do, but obviously someone's gonna offer a list. Like we want an offer, but we don't really think it's gonna.
You're not going to
It's not worth
fight for
anyone's
the
time.
lead, but you would put in an offer.
Yeah. So he's like, let me just tell them, like, hey, um, my people are interested at the list price. Can't
Might
really go up much.
maybe like a little wiggle, but not like
Yeah,
we're
we're like
not going
they're
to be
interested at
offering you
like the
20K
price.
over.
They have good financing. If everything else falls through for some reason, let us know.
Sure.
But we're
And that
not.
sounds like a reasonable offer
Yeah.
to get a
So
conversation started.
yeah. So that closed. That went pending. I'm sure someone went over on it. One day I'm gonna look up and see what it finally sold for.
Yeah.
Um. but I'd say that's in a like one of our offers because it was like
Oh
we
yeah,
didn't go through all the strides, but didn't.
I'm with you. Yeah, that's enough
Saturday,
of an offer to me.
yeah, Saturday we saw another home. The idea with this one was it's again one of like my real estate agents gonna post up. It was like a split level, like colonial style house. That was the
Is
five
it the one
level.
we looked at? Yeah.
Yeah, it ended up being pretty nice. The the main gripe I had with it was the first floor that you walk in was the living room, kitchen, and dining room.
Yeah.
Um, the kitchen was just so poorly laid out. You had
Was
like
it? It sucks.
so I bet I could like I can paint this up real quick. Rectangle. Give me like a line. Give me a line.
And this was the house that was like, it ended up being 5 levels, kind of split down the middle, with every half
Mhm.
level was bedrooms or something, kind of.
Yeah.
Had like weird levels. Huh. Did that seem to be an issue to you? Or did it
No,
seem
because
like it was
like
okay?
it was very shallow levels. Like
Yeah,
quite
they're like
literally, like it
half
was like
levels.
yeah, they're like 3 steps up, and you're on a different level.
Yeah. Okay. That's good.
Um, really rough. So this was like the ground level. So you walk in to this rectangle, and like
From which side? The bottom? Like
bottom.
which? Okay, from the bottom. Yep.
Yeah. So
Coming
like
to the door.
yeah. So that bottom like rectangle is your living room.
The L, or the whole, just the bottom rectangle.
The bottom rectangle is your living room.
Yep.
The top
Gotcha.
left rectangle is your dining room, and your top right is your kitchen.
Okay, makes sense.
The kitchen on like the back L in the house, it went like stove, sink, a little bit of countertop corner over to like a little bit more counter space, fridge, pantry, and then
Yeah,
like
that's
doorway.
kind of. Mm,
Over on this like L bit that's in the middle of nowhere, that was counter
yeah.
space, but it was detached of like everything.
Yeah, it's probably like the get me away from everything else counter space. Or
Yeah.
people sometimes use that as like a desk for important shit. Like that's where
Yes.
people put mail and stuff when it comes
Yeah.
in, kind of thing. Huh. It sounds kind of
So
cramped.
yeah, and
And I'm
then
assuming it's not enough space to have like some kind of island or something in the middle.
no, not at all.
No, yeah.
So the
Okay.
kitchen was like a huge turnoff.
Yeah.
The dining room was okay size. You could put a table. It was fine. The living room, the way the thing is laid out, and I even did the door wrong. So imagine that bottom door for the kitchen. Imagine it being
Yeah.
in the center and having a little bit of wall space on the left.
Okay. Yeah.
Imagine it being more centered, more like the other one.
Yeah, more centered with a little bit on each side. Yep.
Yeah. So the living room you can't really do much with. Like they had a couch and a piano and a rug, and it felt like that's like all you could put in there. So it was like you
Yeah,
couldn't really
I
put a
could
TV in
definitely
there.
see that. I could see it being tight. Because it's like, what do you do? Run a sectional and run it like an L like this? And have it in the way of fucking everything?
Yeah.
Or to put a couch in no man's land? Or like put a couch that intrudes into the dining room? And where do you put a TV that's good to look at? You really don't, honestly.
Yeah.
It's kind of an all around bad situation.
So there is the family room that you could use as like a real hangout spot, but then again, you're gonna feel the house is small in like so many regards, but then you're gonna be wasting square footage. So it's gonna be like
Yeah.
small house, but you're like, oh well,
And
that's
you
like
don't have the
200.
square footage to waste, is
Yeah, it's like
the
oh, it feels
difference.
small, but we have 200 square footage we're not actually using because it's pretty worthless of square footage.
Hmm.
So it was a nice house. I think it's a good house for
It sounded
people.
nice enough, but not quite perfect.
The bedrooms are nice. The yard's pretty nice. The other levels or stuff are nice. It's just it has some things that you have to be okay with to be okay with.
Sure, yeah. Did you put any
So
kind of offer or consideration in
nah,
this?
we just told them
No.
we're not interested. It's a nice house. It'll sell probably
Yeah,
more than they're asking us to pay for
yeah,
it. It
and
just
that's the
wasn't
other
worth.
thing. If you went into it with the mindset that you could possibly be like getting a deal on a house,
Hmm.
that's something you might be more comfortable with. When the housing market's fucked and you're like overpaying for a house or feel
Yeah,
like you're overpaying, it's going to be so much harder to come to terms with you settling for this house,
yeah,
which kind of sucks.
yeah. So we just told him we're not interested. He's gonna list it and get more than we were asking. We were gonna pay for it. So whatever.
Yeah.
Um, Good on them. Like it's still gonna be a win situation for them.
Yeah.
Just not
I
our
mean, with this
situation to win.
market, it's not going to be a problem, probably.
Yeah. So then we like went to look at another rancher. It was like 100 more square foot than like the 1040. It was like 1160.
Okay.
It was great. It had a full unfinished basement, but it had so much potential down there.
Sure. Yeah. They have a
Um,
lot of potential usually.
yeah, it was a good. Everything was laid out in a way that you could get a really nice setup down there. Um, but it was up Friday morning. I said to my realtor about like looking at it. We completely forgot about it on Friday. He actually had something to go to that night. So Saturday we talked like, oh shit, we forgot about looking at that. So we went and we looked at it. As we were walking in the door, he got a call saying they've already accepted an offer on it. It was up for
Holy
36
shit.
hours.
That's hard, man. Like, that's
Yeah,
a quick turnaround from, oh, hey, there's a house, let's go look at it, to, fuck, it's gone.
yeah. And we like walked around it. We would have put an offer on it had
Yeah.
we had time to do it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the kitchen needed reworked a little bit. It's like it almost looked like an addition, but it wasn't. It was like this square off the back of the
Okay.
house,
Kind of like out of place. Yeah.
kinda. But it was like you walk into the square, and you should have had immediately to your right like some counter space, and immediately to your left was the refrigerator.
Yeah.
But it would make the kitchen feel really small. You would have a small square on the inside, but
Okay.
on the like, so I might be able to even just find
It's up to you. If you can
406.
find it quick.
Or 3 Duke Street, maybe? Mm,
That sucks that that's
403.
the kind of situation you're in, looking for houses.
Yeah. On the street.
I hope
Trying
that
to figure
you
out.
soon find something that fits what you're looking for and works out.
Yeah, one day.
Yeah. The nice part is that you're in a place that you're not signing a 1 year lease and it's working out for
Okay,
you so
here's the
far.
house.
That's the one thing
So,
that I keep thinking about that is so
yeah, I'm
nice
in a
for
good
you.
spot. Again, I can ride this out as long as it takes. Other than the fact they just bumped student loan payments back another 90 days. So that's going to be annoying. Because that's going to make people have more money longer. So go to picture
Yeah.
8, please.
Picture 8. Yeah. Got you. Right here.
Actually, go forward a picture.
Yeah.
So this is what I mean, where like the kitchen's kind of detached from the whole house. It's like this little square. Um, so it's missing the fridge in this picture. But
Yeah,
like
I went back and looked at this picture and saw it because I
so
saw this weird corner of the.
fridge is
Okay,
missing, and
it's like
right
a
now the
tight
kitchen.
entrance. It's a tight entrance, but once you're inside, I bet it feels pretty roomy because
Yes,
of because like anywhere you look, you have counter space to do what you need to, which
yes.
is nice.
But so I had so we were talking about it. It would have felt a little cramped with a fridge, but if you go back to picture 9, 8,
Yeah,
my thing is if we would have got the house. So you see how the end cabinet is pretty worthless. Down
the top.
bottom
Oh,
cabinet.
right here, the corner. Yeah,
Yeah, so because the fridge is there, you can't put a door to put storage there.
yeah.
So that bottom drawer is just a super deep cabinet. You would have to like cram something you never want to reach into.
Sure. Yeah,
So if we would have gotten the house, those mounted cabinets and that part of the cabinet you would never use, I would have just
yeah.
ended up like chopping that, throwing a fridge in that corner, and the kitchen. You wouldn't have
Oh,
lost that
you want
much
to put the.
storage and counter
Mm.
space to get so much more space in that area because you got rid of the fridge jutting out in that one spot.
So I somewhat agree with you. As a counterpoint, it's a great place to put your shitty appliances that don't fit anywhere. Shove them in the
It
corner.
it is, but it
Just
was
as a
so
thought, the other thing you could do is you could buy instead of getting like a full size fridge, you could
mhm,
get a counter depth fridge, which would
good.
make it feel not as obtrusive and jutting out.
Yeah,
As a thought,
yeah, definitely could. Um,
I don't hate either option.
mhm,
But I know like if you start getting like a KitchenAid mixer or like a toaster oven or any of those like big ass appliances that you use enough that don't get put somewhere or too heavy to move,
mhm,
that kind of corner of somewhere where it's out of the way enough that it's not always in your way, but it's quickly accessible, that's kind of still valuable space
yep,
and something to think about.
100%. Um,
I don't hate this kitchen though.
no,
It's
I
not
had a
that
lot
bad.
of cabinet, dude. So above the cabinets,
Yeah.
they ran electrical outlets above each cabinet, and
Oh shit, really?
they had like string lights. So they had a
Yeah.
dimmer light switch. These like above glow cabinet like lights.
I bet you that's nice.
Oh my god,
Sounds real nice.
I really want to do it one day. Holy shit! Was it when we turned down the lights of the kitchen? We
Yeah.
had the just like soft like
Or
light
like
glow
that
above all
late
your
night,
cabinets.
leave it on kind of thing. Throw some LED
Oh
bulbs up there, doesn't cost much of anything. Run some
no, but I'm like,
top
yeah,
glow.
1,000%. That kitchen. I love that feature. I want to put in any house just because I love just that soft glow of light up there.
Yeah. Sounds nice.
Yeah.
Definitely sounds nice.
Yep. So, but yeah,
I could
again,
see
that
this
was.
being tight, especially with the fact that like if you do a French door fridge, or
Mhm.
like in my case where it's a side by side fridge where one side's freezer fridge, or have the oven open, you kind of block off the kitchen, which kind of sucks.
Yep.
So I can definitely see what you're saying about the tight entrance into the kitchen.
Yes.
But you look at this picture and say, man, that's a lot of space. Because you got space next to the stove. You've got two corners to put shit. You've got a long stretch between that corner and the fridge. You've
Mhm.
got space above your dishwasher. It's a nice area. It really is.
It is.
I'm not upset about that.
Nope. It's like a nice house. Like it was just a nice solid house. Everything else was just like good hardwood floors, good walls. Everything else was just nice about it. The carport was nice. You could fit two cars under
Yeah.
there depth wise if you really tried for
Oh,
like a winter
really?
storm.
Was it pretty
Yeah,
long?
it was deep.
Okay. And is this a basement? I would assume, based on the light, the
Yeah,
window.
that's a bonus room in the basement. The basement was finished, and then the other parts were ripped up. If you go to that picture, you can see how they like
Yeah,
ripped off all the stuff off the wall at one point.
yeah,
Um, the floor you can see there. It's been waterproofed since it's been waterproofed, and they think,
yeah.
from what we know, it was probably waterproofed after they probably had a damage that needed fixed.
Bit of a backyard, but not too much.
Hmm, like good enough.
And here's
But
that carport. I like the pass through of the carport. It's kind of nice. A little bit of a
yeah,
locked area, if you so desire. Yeah, that one's not too bad. That's a pretty nice looking place, honestly. Some decent options, decent
yeah.
stuff. Stuff to think about for sure. I like it. Sucks that in the blink of an eye it was gone though.
Oh yeah. So
Bit of a
it's
pain.
also one of the worst times of like ever to actually like winters are so an awful time to like buy a house.
Yeah, people get fidgety and want to have their own projects, kind of thing.
Yep. So it's gonna get nicer when more houses are available for people to be like. Right now, there's just not much to be poaching on.
Sure, and I think you're in a position that patience is something that you can afford to have. You
Hmm.
know, You're not racing against a lease that's ending. So,
Yep. So,
but
as I say, as a wise man once said in this Discord, we out here.
it do be like that sometimes.
It do, and it do be an hour and a half of this podcast. So
You
all
know,
we
this
have to say to
podcast just
that is
flowed. You know.
that's all we have for this week's episode. Thursdays are the best days podcast. Thanks for listening, and goodbye.
See you later next time on Jerky Day.
Jerky Day.
Bye bye. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.